Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I thought this would be an interesting topic to discuss since there are a lot of people who are just starting out and are struck with few basic concepts that I think is necessary when you are starting out. So today we'll discuss about geometries. So if you have worked with FEA tools like comsol, you already know that geometry modeling can sometimes feels like the hardest part of the simulation. Not the physics, not the mesh, but just getting the shape right. So today I thought, why not share some of the best geometry tips and hacks that I've learned over the years. Whether you were just starting out or you have been using comsol for a while, I'm pretty sure that at least one of this technique will make your life easier, or maybe even save your hours of troubleshooting. These are the things I wish I knew earlier when I started, and I hope they help you build cleaner, faster, and smarter models. Not only that, so if you share your model with your project partner or your group partner or someone with whom you are collaborating with your work, they should easily understand what is going on, what are the layers, you should have proper naming, and so on. Otherwise, we have to again explain everything in great details and it's a mess. So in this video, I will discuss 10 practical and powerful geometry hacks that have saved me hours of frustration. These aren't just like random tricks, they are real method I use regularly in my own projects, and I'm confident they will help you too. So let's discuss first about the workplanes. Let's start with something that seems simple on the surface but unlocks a whole new level of flexibility once you master it. That's the workplanes. Think of workplanes like transparent drawing board that you can place anywhere inside your 3D space. That's not just confined to the default X, Y, Y, Z or XZ planes. You can move them, rotate them, align them to faces, offset them from surfaces, essentially position them in any orientation you need. Now, why is this important? Imagine you are trying to cut a hole into a curved or sloped face of a 3D object. You can't just sketch that hole on the base plane. This is where work planes shine. You simply define a new work plane on that angled surface, and now you can sketch in aligned perfectly. You can also stack work planes, nesting them one after another to create layered sketches. This is extremely helpful when building complex components in stages, like layered materials or multi-step extrusions. Another great use is when you want to project existing geometry onto a different plane. Say you want to take the outline of a boundary from one face and reuse it elsewhere. Create a work plane, use the project option, and now you have got a copy you can modify or extrude. Lastly, remember that work planes aren't just for sketching. They can help position parts, align features, and make your modeling process modular. Use descriptive names for your work plane, like some of the names that you can think of related to your project. This keeps your geometry organized, especially in complex models. So basically, in short, you can think work planes as an important modeling workflow tool that will definitely help you, especially when if you're working in 3D geometry where you need to draw a particular feature on a particular surface or extrude on a particular surface and so on. Now let's discuss about parametric geometry. Now this is where your modeling starts to feel truly powerful. Let's say you are building a model, or somewhere down the line your colleague or your professor or advisor asks, can you increase the thickness of that layer or try a different diameter of the pipe? If you build your geometry with fixed numbers, hard-coded values, you will find yourself opening the sketch, changing dimension manually, and hopefully everything still line up. But in most cases, it's quite hard. But if you used parametric geometry, that changes takes 2 seconds. In comsol, for example, parametric geometry means using parameters and variables instead of fixed dimensions. These parameters are defined in the global definition section or within components, and you can link them to any sketch dimension, position, or even material thickness, as well as even link to properties and so on. Here's an example. Let's say instead of saying a rectangle is 5 mm wide and 2 mm tall, define it as variables in the parameter section, then use the variable name in your dimension. Now, if we change the value in the parameter section, it will get reflected in your geometry. So why is this useful? Firstly, design iteration become instant. Secondly, parametric sweeps become possible, meaning that you can simulate a range of values easily. Thirdly, optimization studies becomes very seamless because now you have variables defining a particular parameter and you can of course optimize it depending on your project need.